Diablo 4 Necromancer is drowning in a sea of blood wave. Meta is stagnant and the class feels underwhelming. Is there hope for the Necromancer in Season 9, or are we doomed to another season of one-trick pony gameplay? Let's find out. What's up everyone, SKULM here, and in today's video I am going to provide my feedback for Season 9 PTR from a Necromancer perspective. Now, of course, depending on my test results, I have played many Necromancer builds, but it is obvious that currently, as it stands right now, Blood Wave is going to be the strongest Necromancer build for Season 9 if they don't change anything. And in this video, I am going to offer my thoughts and basically my suggestions. Make sure that they actually shake the meta. So, let's begin by talking about the rise of the Necromancer. The rise of the Necromancer happened during Season 7. Obviously, Season 7 elevated the Necromancer class to S+ tier thanks to Blood Wave being able to speedrun Pit 150, which is the hardest content in Diablo 4. Pit 150 is basically the ultimate challenge, the hardest difficulty of Diablo 4, and it rewards you an achievement and title. And basically with Blood Wave, Necromancer was able to speedrun this content with ease. And of course, this reflected into the leaderboard competition as well. In Season 8, Blizzard has chosen to nerf Blood Wave, basically balancing it, bringing it down, to a level where it can actually compete against other builds. But Blood Wave continued to be a very strong option for the Necromancer during Season 8. However, as it stands right now during Season 8, Blood Spear is actually stronger than Blood Wave, but it kind of looks like it's going to change for Season 9. My Season 9 PTR results show that Blood Wave is currently by far the strongest Necromancer build despite all of the heavy nerfs, because Blood Spear was also hit by the nerfs. Soul Rift was nerfed. It lost from 75% X multiplicative damage down to 15% X multiplicative damage. Aside from that, the Echoes, the Deathless Visage, has also been tuned just a little bit, and also we see the overpowered additive damage nerf by 80%. From your max life and max fortitude, you're gonna get less benefit compared to previous seasons. Now, the overpower nerf also hits Blood Wave as well, but you could just stack intelligence to improve your skill damage, and Blood Wave kinda gets away with it. Also, the seasonal powers work heavily in favor of Blood Wave. Blood Wave is going to be way more comfortable to play compared to its version during Season 8. In Season 9, you have various unstoppable powers, various seasonal powers with, I think, Disintegrate. You could also stack with Shadow or Poison. You could also apply some dots, make it execute. It has a lot of quality of life changes compared to the other builds. Now, of course, I am going to basically recommend a rival build to overtake Blood Wave because, as I said, whatever it is currently a one-trick pony gameplay. It's the same gameplay structure for 3 seasons now, and I don't want Blood Wave to be destroyed like Bone Spirit. So, my recommendation, my candidate to overtake Blood Wave is going to be the Summon Necromancer. I want the Summon Necromancer to actually overtake Blood Wave. So, let's talk about how we're going to achieve that. The Summon Necromancer is currently okay, but the gap between, the power gap between the Summon Necromancer and the Blood Wave is too much right now, as of Season 9 PTR. So, we said that we don't want Blood Wave to be nerfed because it is a unique gameplay style. At the end of the day, it has a unique element to it, and I don't think it should be destroyed. I think it should be kept at a healthy, competitive place. However, we should massively buff Summon Necromancer so that it can actually overtake the Blood Wave Necromancer, According to my calculations, we need approximately 8 to 10 times more damage as a Summon Necromancer to be able to push Blood Wave. That's the difference. Summon Necromancer needs massive buffs so that it can actually complete pit 107, pit 108 like Bloodwave. Right now on season 9 PTR, if you follow my channel, you will be able to see that without using any seasonal powers, I ran Bloodwave, and without any seasonal powers, I was already clearing pit 101. And with the Summon Necromancer, with a lot of perfect gear, masterworking, tempers, and all that, you could run with pit 96, pit 97. Now, the gloves are bugged. The plus skeletal mage mastery is not applied yet, but still we need way more damage, trust me. So, if we want the Summon Necromancer to actually rival Bloodwave or overtake it even, we need a lot of buffs. How we're going to get that is very simple. First things first, buff summon damage tempers even further. We want more summon damage tempers. Skeletal mage damage, buff it. Summon damage, buff it. Scythe weapon bonus, buff it. Buff it. Tempers should be buffed further. Also, in terms of survivability, it is true that Bloodwave is an absolute tank of a monster, but you know, make Bloodwave keep that kind of immortal, tanky aspect, and make the Summon Necromancer a type of a little bit more tankier army commander where it can actually deal way more damage thanks to the skeletal mages. The survivability could be buffed just a little bit more, and I think this could be easily achieved with buffing the damage reduction gains from the Scent of Death board, for example. And now we're talking about buffing the damage of the Summon Necro. Let's talk about the Mage Glyph. So, of course, aside from fixing the plus skeletal mage mastery ranks on the gloves, we want also a change on the Mage Glyph. I think they should buff the Mage Glyph by two ways. First way is going to be the buff on the additive damage on the Mage Glyph. So, you know, just buff the Mage Glyph additive bonus. And the second is change that bonus effect. As it stands right now, the Skeletal Mage Glyph bonus effect is minion resistance bonus. Like, what are we gonna do with that? Delete that, change the minion resistances, give us 35% X multiplicative skeletal mage damage instead. Now that's juicy. We want that. We want that power. I think that is going to significantly contribute towards buffing this build and making it compete against Bloodwave. Another suggestion, massively buff Aspect of Reanimation. It should be 100% X multiplicative damage, okay? Buff Aspect of Reanimation. Another suggestion, in a Skeletal Mage Summon Necromancer build, the Ring of Mandeln is only used because of plus ranks to Skeletal Mage Mastery. Now, Ring of Mandeln works better with Skeletal Warriors because Skeletal Warriors are melee units and they can easily form the Ring of Mandeln explosions around themselves and hit multiple targets. Now, mages on the other hand, they stand at the back of the line. Therefore, the Ring of Mandeln explosions do not help that much. Consider increasing the Ring of Mandeln explosion radius and make it scale with shadow damage. Consider it, at least Blizzard, at least consider that. Now, also please consider buffing Aspect of Occult Dominion. Instead of granting +2 skeletons on boots, it should by default grant +3 skeletons on boots. So, if you take it to the amulet, instead of granting +3, it should grant +4. You know, buff Aspect of Occult Dominion as well, please. So, if we apply these buffs, are we sure the Summon Necromancer is going to overtake Bloodwave? No. We need a lot of damage, and I mean a lot. So please run the math, make sure Summon Necromancer can overtake Bloodwave. Now, I want to talk about the future of the Necromancer just a little bit as well, because it's going to be vital for this video. I think if the developers continue buffing the Summon Necromancer, this build might become meta for future seasons, especially with the new gloves. I think the developers have done a fantastic job with the new gloves. These new gloves actually breathe new life into this game, and it created a completely different playstyle for the Summon Necromancer. For the future, I would like to see more diversity within the Summon Necromancers, that would be extremely welcome as well. Now, I've asked my community, and my community is definitely bored of Bloodwave, and they want the developers to keep their promise. Season 9 was supposed to shake the meta, so let's shake the meta. Do not destroy Bloodwave. I like that build. Do not gut it. Do not over-nerf it. Just buff the Summon Necromancer. It is going to be enough to buff the Summon Necromancer so it overtakes the Bloodwave Necromancer, and people are gonna have fun with it. Trust me, they will. And of course, I predict that there might be some last-minute buffs before the launch of Season 9. I wouldn't expect ridiculous buffs, but I would like to see at least Summon Necro overtaking the Bloodwave Necromancer. These are my thoughts, and I'm really curious to see what you think. Write down your comments and thoughts down below. I will read them and I will reply to them. Please let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.